On the 1st of April 2011, I put a banana in a glass jar. I then proceeded to take pictures of it once every month, which I made into a slideshow and uploaded to YouTube. Link in the description. I still have that jar. When I tell people this, they usually wonder, why? And so to put that question to rest, here's the answer. I'm confident that I share this experience with many others. When I was growing up, it was not uncommon to bring a fruit to class to have a snack before or after lunch in elementary. Eventually someone would forget their fruit, for example a banana, in a plastic bag, a Tupperware container, or their locker. It usually didn't take many weeks until the smell or the liquefaction of the banana made everyone aware of its presence. So fast forwarding to 2011, I now wonder what would happen if I put the banana in an airtight jar as to avoid the stench, and then just waited longer than otherwise would be feasible. Let's say a year or something like that. Well, that was easy to test. Just put a banana in a jar, seal it properly, note down when you seal the jar, and then forget about it for a while. Jumping forward to April 2012, I now have a brown soaked banana in a jar that I've invested a whole year in. I could just terminate the experiment. Then if I wanted to see what would happen after 5 years or 10 years, I would need to start over. And I would also need to, deal with the content. So the lazy option was just to have it around. It didn't really take up any space. Jumping a couple of years forward, spring of 2007, I'm taking a course at university in food microbiology. We have a lab in the course where we will look for microorganisms in food, old food. The professor says that it would be nice if we could get hold of some food item that's at least 2 weeks old, because otherwise we won't really get that clear results, as food is generally very microbially clean. I think for a while which food item I should pick, and realize then that I have the perfect candidate. I have a nearly 6-year-old banana. Wonderful! I've had some discussions previously with some friends about what might live or not live in the jar. I've seen bacterial colonies on the skin, but they haven't been growing for years, so I think that most things are dead. I'm also a bit curious about the smell. Has it continued to get worse beyond imagination, or has it peaked and the jar is now essentially smell-free? Well, let me share the results from that lab with you. Before the lab, the banana was mostly intact and unchanged compared to later pictures from the 1-year-old banana video that I've posted on my YouTube channel. You can go to my videos and look it up if you want to, if you haven't seen it. So in this picture just before the lab, you can see the white-gray dots on the skin, which are the dead, well, at least presumably dead bacterial colonies. This is the jar with the tape unwrapped. The edges of the jar's lid has noticeably corroded. This could be a normal effect of oxygen from the outside slowly rusting the lid through the tape. It could also have been accelerated by water or acid from the inside evaporating and condensing, creating a humid environment. A plastic bag has been used to create a tight seal between the lid and the jar, and it has clearly been discolored by the internal juices. The banana itself was fairly fragile, the skin hardly stuck together, and so it's clear that the fibers had started to broken up. The inside of the banana is mostly empty, most of it has liquefied and seeped out through the skin. The content of the banana is very brown, and the fibers have become completely black. It's gooey, but holds together surprisingly well. The smell of the banana is not bad. In fact, I would argue that it was quite pleasant. I could definitely smell a lot of alcohol, and it had a somewhat sweet smell. It was basically banana liquor, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so after extraction of some of the matter, the banana was put back into the jar and sealed again. I mean, you never know when a really old banana might come in handy again. so I marked down the new date on the jar as well, 13th February 2017. My lab mates and I began to streak the banana solution onto plates in different concentration. The plates contained different media that would be enriching for certain microorganisms. We tested the presence of yeast or mold, E. coli, Staphylococci, and a plate with the total count of all different bacteria species. All plates which were supposed to contain bacteria came back clean after a few days of incubation. For a while we thought that we had managed to get Staphylococci on one plate, but since restreaking the plate failed, we concluded that the small black dots on the plate, which we had assumed were bacterial colonies, were just small fiber particles left over from homogenization. However, there was a handful of mold colonies on our 10 times dilution mold plate, essentially covering it in a thick, beautiful green carpet. The other mold plates, however, with 1,000 and 10,000 times dilution, didn't yield any mold or yeast colonies. So, in conclusion, a 6-year-old banana sealed in an airtight container will not be suitable for bacterial life, but opportunistic fermentative molds, who are not dependent on oxygen to the same extent as common bacteria, can take advantage of the high sugar content of the banana and survive by producing ethanol, killing all of the competition. However, the conditions are not favorable enough to have the mold take over the entire jar, as evident by the microscopic observations. So now you know. Thank you for listening.